Hey everyone, welcome back to this video series. So in this video, we will just walk you all through how to navigate and submit node details in oracles.go plugin.go. Okay, so this is a critical step which every node operator must perform to submit their node details, Oracle informations, the job ID, and so on. So before we move on and see how the Oracle's platform looks like, we would like to walk you all through the documentations what we have put together for the community. So this documentation has information such as how to install the plugin node in different way, different method. For example, we have a script method which helps you to deploy the node in this two-step process. Similarly, we have recent additions in our video tutorial, Docker mode, which is most and friendly way of setting it up in the shortest time frame, right? So if you want to go with the Docker mode, go ahead and set this up using Docker phase 1 and Docker phase 2. Docker phase 1 help you to set up a plugin node, and phase 2 will help you to set up a initiator and then bridge both together. Okay, so this two step has a video attached in the bottom of the guide, and similarly the phase 2 has the video attached in the bottom of this guide. Just go through phase 1 first, make sure your node is running fine, then go to phase 2 and then make sure the final step is done. Okay, and we have observed many people are sharing their concerns with respect to HTTPS connection setup, right? Which is very critical, of course, but to set up a HTTPS, you must need a custom domain or your domain own domain. So if you have a domain name, please feel free to go ahead and set this up. And you can also set this up using Let's Encrypt. That is another SSL provider. You can use it to set up your SSL. Okay, so this is all about plugin installation and SSL setup. So once you set this up, like your node is running fine and the initiator is running fine, and you have these two speaking together, what you have to do is you'll have to go with the Oracle setup, right? Basically, this Oracle is going to bridge the connection between your plugin node and the smart contract. So for which you have to make sure this specific section is covered. Okay, just go ahead and copy down this program and go to Remix, deploy that. You will get the Oracle contract address, and then after which you will have to do the fulfillment request. This is another key step which you will have to perform. Every node, every plugin node has their own account address, and you will have to take it from regular type. This is the node address. You'll have to copy it and then you do the fulfillment using this option in the remix, right? So once you do this operation, which means the Oracle is now ready to bridge. Oracle is ready to listen to the event and speak it up to the plugin node, right? That is where the job setup comes into picture, which means you're going to test it out. So how you are going to make sure your node is working fine? This is another step which you have to perform. So don't think that once you have set up this job, it's all set. No, this is just to ensure that your node is running fine. But after which you can provide different services such as uh, price conversions, weather data, pulling from external world and then bringing it back to the plugin network. There are many use cases which you can offer as a node operator, like a data feed provider, so that you can also get a PLI revenue out of it. Okay, that's the end goal we are going to achieve. But for this test execution, you can simply take this alarm clock as a sample, okay, like a sample job, and make sure your plugin node is perfectly working fine by creating a job and then listening to it. To test the job, you can go to this testing section, copy down this client contract, go to Remix. Of course, you'll have to deploy it. After you deploy the contract in Remix, you will have to fund this contract with the PLI, just minimal PLI. Don't fund everything, just one PLI should be sufficient, and then trigger the alarm clock. Like this is a seconds, 2 seconds or 3 seconds. Once you trigger the time alarm clock function, it will trigger the job behind the scene, and we should be able to see this green tick. So once you see this green tick, you are all fine. You should be able to submit the node details in Oracle, oracles.goplugin.co dashboard. Okay, so if you are a node operator, please ensure you are performing this operation and make sure you are seeing the jobs ran fine and it is completed status. Okay, then only the node will be reviewed and approved from the committee. Okay, so with that, I will just move forward. I will quickly explain other sections like job tasks, which have a sleep function, like getting the data in bytes format, and HTTP GET to pull the data from the external world, external domain, and cron job, and we have webhook, JSON. These tasks are currently available. We are building few more tasks, and we will be able to add it here. And known issues, we have a few known issues which have identified, and the solutions are given here. We are keep on updating this document. Okay, so whenever you have some issues, please feel free to come here, make sure your issues are listed here. If not, let us know in the Discord. Okay, and the document, the video, what we are going to show you now, the steps which we are going to show you now, everything is here. So if you are if you'd like to read document rather watching video, go ahead and check each and every step. Fine. So let's move on to the platform. So once you log into the Oracle's platform, you should be able to see your dashboard, right? So this dashboard has a few key informations to watch out. For example, active nodes, it is 0, right? It is obviously 0 because I had to submit my node to the admin committee. So once they approve it, I should be able to see my node listed here like 1. Incentives, I did not have anything. I had to submit. Reputation, which will be measured basis the uptime of my server and so on. Penalties basis the uptime, basis the downtime. So it will be calculated. So those details will be shared to you. It will be transparent. And this is the total PLI balance from my wallet. Okay, so basically it speaks to the XDC Pay. And if you go and check the token, there's 1003 PLI, right? It is showing here. If you look at it, we have boundary reward. Since I am a bounty winner, just for the demo purpose, I have 50% rewards to be obtained from the committee. And these two, basically, once I stake the PLI into the smart contract, these two will get activated automatically. For example, if you are a bounty winners, you will have to stake the respective token for the first node, right? And similarly for the first node, the admin, the plugin team will stake it for you. If you are a non-bounty winners, you will have to stake the 2000 PLI for the first node, of course, for all the nodes, right? That's how it works. And this login session will show you around what time you logged in into the platform and so on. Node details will show you what is the node you have submitted to the platform and so on. Wallet balance, you have to add the wallet here. So I'm just going to add my wallet. Add wallet. I will just give proper name, and then I'll take my wallet ID here. Just copy down this wallet address, paste it here, and then type should be XDC, of course, and default. So basically, you can add multiple wallet here in this section, right? But you can set only one as a default at a time. Okay, you cannot have multiple wallet address in a default mode. Only one address can be in a default way. Okay, once you save it, you should be able to see that in the dashboard, right? This is added and the balance is shown up here. Okay, once the wallet is set up, you can go ahead and add your node details in my node section. Go to my node section, click add node. You can see it is asking few information like name, short description, node image, etc. Right? Let me be very clear. See, whatever information you are adding in the name, descriptions, all those fields, it is very critical. You cannot add any dummy data such as node 1 or my node, etc. So it has to be very descriptive. I would say plugin node maybe I can append my prefix. Okay, suffix. So which means I can able to differentiate it. And this description should be much descriptive. For example, what this node offers to you, offers to end users. I would say this node helps you to perform the following, such as sleep task, sleep event, cron. I mean, this crons, all those tasks you can keep adding into the specific node, right? So you can be very descriptive and offer the users what your node actually going to give them, so that they can come to you and they can get your service out of it. Okay, sleep event, cron, and much more. For now, I'm just giving a very simple description, but make sure while you're submitting the node details to our platform, uh, please be descriptive out of it. Okay, so here I will not choose a dummy image. Instead, I'll just capture my node details so that admin understand this is working fine. Okay, so I would say my notes are there, right? So I can maybe I will take this job so that they can be very sure my job is running fine in the platform. I'll take this. Okay, and then I'll upload this image. Okay, so I'll just take this image, and my node is running in AWS service provider. I'll choose AWS, and for security purpose, I'm just going to give a dummy address, or that's okay. I will just go ahead and give my IP address here. Later, I will remove this node. Just remove the HTTP. Operating system is Linux. RAM 8 GB, storage 50, security patch version latest, Oracle address. So this is very critical, right? How do you obtain this Oracle address? When you follow this documentation, as I said before, you will have to execute this Oracle section, right? When you deploy this Oracle contract, you will get the smart contract address. That is the input which you are going to share it in this specific section. So do not override any other address. It has to be your valid Oracle address. Since I have Oracle address already captured in my job section, I'll go ahead and copy it from here. Okay, and my node address, I will take it from my key section. You have to go to your plugin node, go to key section, take the regular account. This is your node address, right? And wallet address by default, it is pointed out the default wallet address, and network should be mainnet. Make sure it is chosen mainnet. Okay, so once you have this information filled, we'll have to save the changes. It says node added successfully, right? Go to my node section. You can see the details what you have added, and it is pending for approval from admin end. So this basically this admin approval process will take 24 hours to 48 hours. Okay, basically they have to verify whether this node address is right, and whether this node address is available in the Explorer, whether you have done the fulfillment, everything. They have to take some time, but for this demo purpose, we will get it approved and then show you. I'll wait for the admin approval. Let's give some time. Okay, so I think it should be done now. Let me refresh. Yeah, it is approved, right? So I got my node approved. Once this is approved, then another thing is, if you want to add multiple node, you cannot do it. When you click this add node again, you will get a multi-node setup option is currently an available message. So this will be released in another upcoming weeks. So wait for it. For now, you can add only one node. Okay. So once the node is available and it is approved, you can go ahead and stake it. This is another key step which you have to perform so that you can, this node can be displayed in the marketplace, right? So go ahead and stake it. So since I am a bounty winner and it is 50% for me, by default it is pointed to 1000. If you are a 90% bounty winner, it will be pointed to 200. If you are non-bounty winners, it will be pointed to 2000, right? And you cannot change it. I cannot change it. It will be by default fixed. Okay, so don't try to change. Even if you try to change it, you cannot change it. So it is 1000 and I'm choosing the node which I want to stake it. Just choose the node. You can see the message and sign it. So basically I am going to stake my tokens from my PLI kitty. Just proceed. So signing is nothing but approving, saying that go ahead and take PLI from my account. Now it is saying the transaction success, and then we'll have to stake it. Click the stake now button to initiate the staking process. Go ahead and stake it now. It takes some time. Yes, it is done now. You can see your token balance should be deducted, right? It is now 3. Initially I had 1003, now it is just 3. 1000 has been staked from my kitty. If you look at the dashboard, you would say staked by user is 1000, but bounty is still 1000, right? Which means the plugin team has to stake for me. So I'll wait for the same and they will approve it. Okay, so once they approve it, this will be detected and it will be 0 shortly. Okay, so let me refresh. And you can also see when I staked it, it is showing the status partially staked, right? Which means the 1000 has to come from that mean. Now let me see the dashboard. Yes, they approved it and they also staked for me, right? And if you look at it, the stake by plugin is showing 1000 PLI, and in my node section, it is showing staked, completely staked. Okay, and we have manage options enabled for to add multiple jobs to the specific node. Okay, so far we have almost we have covered good amount of steps, but let's do a quick recap what we have done so far. We have added nodes and then we have submitted to the admin and then they approved it and then we staked it and then plugin staked it. Now you can see both the user have staked. If it is non-bounty winners, the plugin staking will not come into picture. Only you are going to stake for your node to be displayed in the marketplace, and you can see the active nodes are 1 now, right? And let me show you the marketplace details. You can see that my node is displayed here, right? If you click this, you can see the name what I've given, provider specification, node address, and Oracle address. But there is no jobs listed here. That is where the alarm clock or event or price conversions or winter API data and many jobs you can set up, you can offer to the end users, right? I'm going to add a few jobs here just for the demo purpose. I'll go to my nodes, go to manage section, click add new. You can see the job details can be added here. I'll say alarm clock job. This job will help you to trigger an event on specific time period, like that. And then I will say the Oracle address. I will just copy down the Oracle address from the jobs again. job ID. I'll take the job from here, go to definition, copy this, and then cost. So how much cost which I am going to incur? For example, if someone going to use the job ID, they'll have to pay 0.1. So you are going to say to the end users, hey, pay me this PLI and then you can use my job, right? That is how it works. And job specification, it's a JSON, right? You have to mention the JSON so they understand how it works. Just copy down this task from this documentation and put it here. Okay, just scroll down and make sure everything is fine, and then save changes. Okay, it must be in JSON. I will add a parameter. Okay, so once it is done, my jobs will also be listed, but it has to be approved by admin. Okay, so let's wait for some time. So now the job is approved. You can also view spec from here, but let's see how it looks like in the platform. If you refresh it, should be able to see the alarm clock job opened. It is submitted by the node operator and it is visible to all the users, right? This is a simple sample, and that's how it works. If you look at it, I have other options which is available in my node section, like make deactive or make active. So what does it mean? For example, let's say your node is running for some time now, let's say a month or two, and you will have to, for some reason, you will have to make your system, make your machine down, like some downtime is there. In those cases, you don't want the machine to be shown in the platform, right? In such case, you can make deactive, which means the node will not be shown to the end users. Whenever you make sure your machine is up and running, you can again reactivate. So in this process, it will not impact anything with respect to staking amount, anything will not be impacted. Okay, and that is how it works. So for now, I'm not going to deactivate it, but this is how it works. If you want to deactivate for some time, you can do that, and you have to make sure you are reactivating it. Okay, and that's it. We almost covered all the point. And for the documentation purpose, we have added FAQ support here as well. So we have given all the frequently asked question. Please go ahead and read it. And documentation, of course, you can click here and go to docs.goplugin.co and go through it. So in the video tunes, we have a node setup tutorial. Of course, it is given like the initial series like 1 to 5a. You can go through it. Or if at all you want to follow Docker method, just go to Docker section and then you will be able to see the Docker videos. Okay. So if there are any questions, please do reach out to us via Discord, and always put your comments in the description. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.